Well, as I do most things, I did this just a little bit backwards, and I'll tell you what I mean. This is an old country barbecue pit. It's sold by Academy, and I bought it about 2 days before Thanksgiving 2020. And if 2020 has taught us anything at all, things do not go as planned. I would have liked to have used this for Thanksgiving, but didn't get to season it in time. So I made everything on my Weber kettle. Bam, turned out great. Here's what I want to do today. I want to season this, make sure we don't get any rust. I'm going to tell you my theory on seasoning this. I already tell you it's a little bit different than other guys' theories on seasoning this. They could be right, I could be wrong. It's just how I do it. If it don't work for you, you do you, all right? Here we go. First off, and most obvious, all these grates, they all come out. And the two lower ones have guides on them with top guides so that if you do need to slide them out, they're not just gonna flop over. This one does not have the top little catch on there. So I'm thinking when you pull it out, if you've got too much weight on the front, you need to be careful that everything doesn't tump over. It's a word for the day, tump. If you're not using it, look into it, it's fun. Bottom grate comes all the way out. Last thing is this stand right here. Down in the firebox, they give you a stand. When I got it, it was laying like this with these little wings pointing up. But it seems to me like if you have these like little legs, you can get a lot more airflow underneath your wood, underneath your charcoal. Just my thoughts. This is where a lot of folks are gonna have a lot of opinions. This is gonna be my first time to ever season an offset grill. But man, I've been cooking with cast iron since I was young. I got pieces of cast iron they were old when I got them. And I've been using them for over 30 years. They still just shine. They cook great, they clean up great. So I'm gonna use the same things I do for seasoning cast iron, and I think it's gonna turn out fine. I do see a lot of guys out there, they have very specific oils that they use. They'll look right there in that camera and say, do not use blah, blah. I'm gonna use some blah, blah this morning. Now, 3 years from now, y'all can look at this. If it's all rusted out, you know I screwed up. Not gonna happen. There's some spots you can't really get to. So bam, get you something to spray. You can pour your oil into a spray bottle, or better yet, this, because it's got the propellant in it, get you a lot smaller microns. Get up into all those little nooks and crannies. Get all those places you can't get your fat fingers in there, and it's gonna be able to coat places that you can't get into. I got me just some regular old great value vegetable oil. That's what we're gonna do with this. I'm just gonna pour vegetable oil into the bottom of here. Not dump it in, just pour it in. Got all of these inside fire boxes and this cooking area all wiped down, getting ready to season it. But before I do that, I'm gonna give y'all a review on this Arctic Big Bear chair. I like it. I got this pit oiled down, stem to stern, inside and out. I went ahead and used this for the outside and the areas that I couldn't reach on the inside. Now I got my coals lighting over here. Some of this wood over here on top of it. Get this thing up to about, I don't know, 275, 300. This is also a good time to play with the temperatures. I would much rather be getting this right now than when I have a expensive piece of meat on there. We got a lot of time to go. We got a lot more we got to do to get this seasoned up. I've still got to get the grates. I'm going to take them inside, wash them down, and then I'm going to oil them up and put them on here. That smokes clean the way that I want it. I'm not putting these grates in there to season until this is running as hot in the way that I want it to, because that's what your food's going to be on right there. So let's not get that on there too early in the process. Let's get everything going real good and then throw those on. And gonna make a whole lot better tasting food on down the road. And really, isn't that what it's all about? So I got some conwood that I'm gonna use when I get ready to get those coals tumped over. Second time of the day. One got plenty of bark on it. The other one I got no bark at all on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and use a mixture of those. I'm putting the bark side down. I'm sure most of you guys do the same. If you don't, let me know why you don't. But I've always, I mean, that's just the way I was taught. That's the way I've always done it. Always, if it's got bark on it, bark side goes down. Got my wood in there. I got a flame underneath, but I don't have a good flame up on the wood yet. That's what I'm needing, so we'll keep an eye on that. Got my smoke rolling. Yeah, it's still a little dirtier than I'd like for it to be, but obviously, I mean, this is our first time of even having anything in this cooker. I didn't get the additional probe for there yet because the only one they had was this ginormous one that, I don't know, it didn't suit me at all. So I pulled that plug, I put it right there so that it will get seasoned, and I dropped my ThermoPro sensor down in there, and it's hanging about 3-4 inches down that hole. So it's going to let me know what the temperature of the inside of that drum is. And like I said, man, now we're just waiting on some flames in here. That's what I need. I need less smoke, more fire. Gonna keep that door open until we get what we want. That's the fire I was looking for right there. So now we can go ahead, shut this door, leave this wide open, and as of right now, my handy dandy ThermoPro says 263 degrees. As long as I keep it above 250, 260, and just let it roll, let it roll, let it roll, all of that is gonna work out the way I want it to, which is it's just gonna bake that coating onto the inside and the outside. And I'm not gonna end up with any rust. I'm not gonna end up with any problems going forward. Isn't that what we want? No problems? Well, we've just about got this first burn completed. I'm pretty happy with the results. I ran this pit all the way up to a little over 475, 480 degrees. I was able to sustain that. I brought it all the way down to about 225 degrees. Could sustain that as long as I wanted to. The very last thing I've done were the grates. I wanted to make sure that the smoke was clean, that it was running at consistent temperature, because you know, whenever you cook something and your wife or the family goes, I don't know, it's just a little bit smokier than I care for, that's why. It's because you got that dirty smoke running through there. And if that's the first thing you run through there when the grates are on there, it's just going to be there. That's going to be part of your cooker for a long time. So that's why I did what I did. A couple things that I really need to do. I need to cut my wood down a little bit shorter. My firebox is just a tiniest bit shorter than my wood. Yeah, that's kind of a beating. And the other thing that I need to do, I am going to need to get me a gauge. Tomorrow will be the first cook on it. It'll be the first Saturday after Thanksgiving, and I'm going to go get a brisket this afternoon. Put it on there early tomorrow morning. This is my first offset pet. I don't know if I mentioned that before. This might be just a little bit of an adventure. Following along with me while I try to figure out all the right ways to smoke on a piece of equipment that I've never really smoked on before. You guys got to be with me while I seasoned this brand new piece of equipment. And if you stick around, you'll get to hang out with me while I ruin some briskets and screw up some pork butts. But you'll also get to see how that learning curve works. You'll also get to see how a guy who's pretty decent at smoking on a kettle is gonna figure it out on an offset. Might be fun. Hey, subscribe and like if you want. I've decided I'm gonna call this the Crosswire Barbecue channel. One day I'll tell you all the story of why I did that. Might not mean anything to anybody else except for me and my sister, my wife. But I truly do appreciate the time that you spent with me today. I hope you can see your way to coming back and watching some more of these videos. Just something I think I'm gonna enjoy doing. Y'all take care, be good to each other, keep smoking.